Alright people, what's up? What's up people? This is the Ray, and what's up? Hey people, it's me. What's up? It's my second one, what's happening? Well, let me get this one started with last vlog I explained that I was an extreme Kiss fan. I'm a diehard Kiss fan. I like a lot of their music. Up until the last stuff, I found being a Kiss fan was real fun. I was one of the kids that ran out and got that bubble gum. It said Kiss Army on it. It came with a form in it that you filled out and sent in, and you got a Kiss Army card with a membership number. And I've kept so much Kiss stuff and lost that. And that's like one of the major things you had or kept when you were a Kiss fan, and that, you know, let other people know, hey, I'm a Kiss member. I'm a member of Kiss Army. But anyway, it goes to when Kiss started, 73, hardly people knew who they were. We knew of them, but we didn't know who they were or what they were. I was pretty young at that time. My first concert to go to was Detroit Rock City, which was Destroyer. Destroyer, a friend of mine had tickets to go see Destroyer, and I wanted to go with him. I snuck out and went to the Destroyer concert. My parents were Jehovah's Witnesses. So everything was the devil. I mean, everything was possessed and devil. I mean, they actually cleaned out our house when my grandmother left because she was a Pentecostal preacher. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're freaks. So I snuck out to the Destroyer concert, and I was a country and western, CW kind of person. I was more into country music. I was looking for good guitar work, awesome guitar playing and stuff like that. So I was always looking for better bands, and started running into bands like I said, Judas Priest, and started hearing heavier metal music that I really started liking. And then next thing you know, I was listening to rock stations and picking my favorite bands like everybody else was. And I found Kiss. And first show I went to, the show just blew me away, so I was a Kiss fan. Well, all the time of being a Kiss fan, like I said, I went out and bought Kiss stuff, Kiss memorabilia, Kiss albums, Kiss anything that had Kiss on the posters. But I was in serious conflict with my religion because Kiss was, our preacher said, knights in Satan's service. I was like, wow, man, they're just a rock and roll band. Next thing you know, they're icons and the devil. But anyway, getting back to Kiss, I've always been a dedicated Kiss fan, and so when they're on TV or they're doing something, you're always right there. And there would be interviews with Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons and the band. When the band was all together, everybody got to put their own opinions in it, and everybody seemed together. It wasn't until later on when Paul Stanley would be by himself or Gene Simmons would be by himself. But it was rare to see Peter Criss until he quit the band to be an interview by himself. You know, Ace Frehley didn't have interviews by himself either. Uh, Peter Criss got his solo interviews after he decided to leave Kiss. Which, after he decided to leave Kiss, Paul Stanley also had an interview that I listened to, and he said because of the pressure that he was putting on Peter Criss, and the other band members were putting on Peter Criss because of his alcohol abuse, that's where he decided to leave on his own, just leave. So what did Kiss do? It was hard. They said it was, hard to believe that a band member would leave, much less what would they do if one left. They brought in Eric Carr. And with Eric Carr came a new persona, a new style of drumming, which changed Kiss's music all around. They became from a jazz sounding rock band to a harder rock metal band that I was looking for them to be with the makeup on when I first saw them. So they actually started playing the same Kiss music, but it was harder and faster because of Eric Carr. But like I said, they brought in a new member who brought in his own persona, brought in his own makeup, and shortly after that, Ace Frehley decided to leave. Ace Frehley, I think, from what I heard, left about for the same reasons, the pressure that was being put on him for being a partier, where, I don't know, I heard Paul Stanley was a partier, but he partied very discreetly, so as not to reflect anything on the band or anything. Whereas Gene Simmons was a square peg from the start. He anti-everything. He was a teacher, and on top of him not being a very awesome bass player, I mean, if you're just going to play chords and play basic bass, that's Gene Simmons. Okay? So Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley would both say in their interviews that they were disappointed with Ace's style. That they thought Ace's style should be stronger and change with the times. They wanted him using a tremolo bar. They wanted him to use, like a tremolo bar, and change his style to be more like what was happening at the time, when Ace has always been competitive with his guitar style. He's actually a lead guitar. I mean, he knows what to play when everybody else is playing chords. That's a lead guitar guy. He was doing his part, but evidently his part wasn't good enough for Gene and Paul. So you would hear negative stuff. And when Kiss has always been 4 stars, 4 main guys, and then you hear the other 2 members, oh, he's not up to par. Well, nobody said anything about Gene Simmons' basic bass playing. It's never changed. It's always been the same. And Paul Stanley's just a rhythm guitarist. If it's not a chord, he can't play it. There's been several times in concert, I've been there, when Paul Stanley tries to lead guitar his guitar. He's not capable of it, because he's not a lead guitar guy. But he wasn't nobody gave him pressure about, your guitar playing needs to get up to par. I never heard anybody in the other band, or Peter Criss or Ace Frehley. Gene Simmons couldn't say anything because he was just a basic bass player anyway. I never heard Ace Frehley or Peter Criss talk about, the basic way that Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons shake their martini. No, but they had something to say about Ace or Peter Criss. That was chicken shit, guys. I was just hoping that maybe one of you guys would see this and understand that there's a lot of us fans out here with our feelings hurt because when you brought in Eric Carr, he brought in his own persona, his own makeup, his own style. So he didn't play on anybody's stuff. He didn't disrespect anybody. He played his own persona, and that's what we expected. So after Ace Frehley left, we get Vinnie Vincent. Comes in as a supersonic surfer. His own persona, his own style. He didn't play nobody else's stuff. He was awesome. Vinnie Vincent was very awesome for Kiss. Uh, Immediately, Gene Simmons didn't like him. Immediately, Paul Stanley didn't like him. And Vinnie Vincent could outplay all of them on guitar, on his guitar. And he was just more creative than they wanted him to be. And in later years where Vinnie Vincent has put on his makeup for autograph signing, Kiss has gone after him for wearing their makeup. Wow. You mean when you become a member of Kiss, if they allow you to wear makeup on there, it's their makeup? And that if you have a autograph signing thing, that you're not allowed to put on the makeup that you wore while you were in the band, when that's what you're even having an autograph session for, because you were a member of Kiss and you wore a certain makeup. I just thought that that was extremely shitty on Kiss's part to do anything to Vinnie Vincent for wanting to wear his makeup. At least he didn't pull a Tommy Thayer. He didn't come in wearing Ace's makeup, playing Ace's stuff and trying to act like he was Ace Frehley the spaceman. He didn't do that. That's why us fans hate Tommy Thayer like we do. Tommy Thayer is not a special guitar player. He's a spare tire at best. We were hoping that Kiss would smoke that spare tire and leave it along the roadside and bring back in Bruce Kulick, the one that they screwed out of that job. We didn't understand how we got from Bruce Kulick to Tommy Thayer. Bruce Kulick was a major asset to Kiss. He never wore makeup, but it major contributions to Kiss and Kiss's music. Bruce Kulick, you are a Kiss member, and even if you don't wear makeup, you will always be recognized as one badass Kiss member. We love you, Bruce Kulick, and hope that you carry on, because you can, and you're awesome. And we really thank you for filling in a place in Kiss where they needed filled in. And even if the guys in the band didn't appreciate you, we did. We're the fans. And if the guys next to you couldn't appreciate you, the guys out in the audience damn sure appreciate you. I just want to say I wish that Tommy Thayer had never existed, because it just made me sick to see him put on Ace Frehley's makeup. He doesn't look like Ace. He plays similar to Ace, and he knows every chord. Every chord. I guess that's what made him so important to Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. I don't understand that, but Mr. Stanley and Mr. Simmons, you need to realize that your band, you started by bringing in their own persona. Why did you screw us fans by bringing in Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer to wear somebody else's persona? Because the last part of Kiss sucks because of that. They didn't bring in their own persona. Then they get on stage and they try to play to Ace and Peter's persona, and then create their own stuff out of Peter and Chris and Ace Frehley's persona, trying to create their own solos off of Ace Frehley stuff. It's like, wow, man, that was a big kick in the teeth, not only to us, the fans. It was a big kick in the teeth to Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. They didn't deserve these two morons coming in and taking their place. Well, I say two morons. Eric Singer made a good replacement for Eric Singer because their styles were close to the same. But immediately they should have gave Eric Singer his own persona and his own makeup, so that he's not riding on anybody else's shirt tails. and ruining somebody else's persona. And Kiss has always been, we don't care what the critics think, we only care what the fans think. I know enough fans raised hell about Tommy Thayer wearing Ace Frehley's makeup, and they did nothing. They didn't care. You guys didn't care. It's like, wow. So the albums that they put out with Eric Singer being the lead guitar, them albums suck. Because I can't stand Tommy Thayer. He wouldn't make a pimple on Ace Frehley's ass. We don't appreciate it as fans that Kiss would do that to us. But, you know, now they've already played their last tours, and all you hear about is how Gene Simmons is. He's Gene Simmons. It's like, I've heard so much from Family Jewels and his personal interviews that he talks shit about other band members. I honestly wish that Kiss would have got rid of Gene Simmons like a long time ago. Like in 75. They could have had any badass bass player with a scary look. You could have been a demon, you could have been a vampire, you could have been, you know, scary like Gene Simmons, his demon thing. You could have come off of that with a persona, and he would be an easy replacement, because there's nothing that he did that was like, oh, Gene Simmons, he blew fire. It doesn't take a month to learn how to blow fire. I blow fire. I learned how to do it because I was a Kiss fan. I wanted to learn. I learned from a circus guy. Circus guy was in the not a circus. It was more of a carnival. He was a carnival guy. His name was Alan. He's an old guy. He showed me how to blow fire. It's a technique, but you learn it in less than a month. Gene Simmons is playing. It'd take you less than a month to learn his style. If you know how to play a bass, and you picked up his music, Gene Simmons' music, you'd be on it in less than a month. Less than 3 weeks, you'd be playing his stuff because it's so basic. There's nothing Gene Simmons does that's so special on the bass that nobody can copy to the T. So, I mean, but he's always had something to say about Ace Frehley's playing, or Peter Criss not being able to play. It was like, dude, if your drummer can't play, y'all can't play. But it hurts my feelings to know that Peter Criss would still say in his personal interviews that he looked at Gene Simmons as a best friend. Gene Simmons didn't look at you as a best friend, Mr. Peter Criss. He just looked at himself. And the way he treated his wife, Shannon, and being not committed. Oh, but he's ready to show you he has kids. But he's not going to tell you that he's committed, because he's not. Women are shit under his feet. You know, we understand about groupies. We understand that can be addictive. But, you know, women are addicted. Okay? So he had a knack, because he got to get on stage, that he got to be with certain women. Oh, well, that's a reason not to respect a woman that's giving you children. Gene Simmons is a piece of shit. And it sucks the fact that I'm a fan of a band that's as big as Kiss, and the biggest spokesperson for that band's a piece of shit. You know, the band would be so much better if they would make sure that the shit that Gene Simmons puts on TV and stuff doesn't reflect back on Kiss, because it's no good. It's not good. I mean, he just thinks he's a god. I don't. I'm a Kiss fan. You know, I just like him to be part of the band and shut your fucking mouth. Play your bass and shut up. I mean, because you're not all that badass, you know what I'm saying? And when I put on makeup, the challenge is for me to put on makeup would be Ace Frehley's makeup or Peter Criss's makeup, because those are a challenge to get right. Yours, I can do with my eyes closed. Gene Simmons. And just, really, it wouldn't be that hard. It's just, The guy that didn't contribute that much to the band is the one running his mouth like he's an icon in it. Yeah, he helped start it. Yeah, it was a good idea. And it made you and Paul Stanley rich. But you didn't have to disrespect your other band members just simply because you're Gene Simmons. Because Gene Simmons ain't shit. You're not shit. You're just an average bass player who wore cool ass makeup. You just happen to pick the coolest fucking makeup, which is not the coolest because I like the other band members' makeup. And then Eric, or when Vinnie Vincent came out with the Supersonic Surfer, I thought he overdid it. And they fucking nailed, man. We had some of these cool as fuck in there. And I just wanted to voice my opinion about how I think the band's progressed and their latter stuff with Tommy Thayer is a fail. You succeeded all in your career, and then when you came out with Tommy Thayer, you failed miserably. Your fans aren't impressed. And then you finished the tour with Tommy Thayer wearing Ace's makeup, and you let Eric Singer wear Peter Criss's because y'all couldn't figure out his own persona? Was it y'all lost your brains at the last part of the couple of years of you putting out music? We just, because they always were talking about, oh, we don't care what the critics say with Kiss. We're all about the fans. Well, the fans didn't want you to bring in Tommy Thayer over Bruce Kulick without an explanation. Next thing you know, we got Bruce Kulick all in our face, and in the interviews that they're having, he's talking like he's been with the band for years, and we're like, who the fuck is he? He's actually, oh, well, we did it this way. How would you know how y'all did it? Because you weren't there. And it's like, I've hated Tommy Thayer since I first saw him. When I saw this Ace Frehley who didn't look like Ace Frehley, I was like, who is this? Tommy Thayer. And then ever since I've heard Tommy Thayer in the band, there's nothing special. Nothing. And then to play Bruce Kulick's song, he couldn't do it. He could play the fuck out of old Kiss. But when it came to playing Bruce Kulick's badass shit, he was incapable of it. So, I mean, to me, he's never made Kiss member. Like I said, to me, he's like a spare tire that needs to be blown out and replaced. So, but I do look at Eric Singer as a good replacement behind Eric Carr, because their styles were so similar they kept Kiss sounding heavy, with that heavy rock, boom, blah, you know what I mean. But anyway, that's what that is. And for my second part of my vlog, which is the troubleshooting part of my vlog, is you give me a problem and we work out step by step how to solve this problem. Well, my first problem that was given to me is given to me by my neighbor, and she says, which this is not what I expected on my troubleshooting part of it, but it's a problem, so let's work this out. She says now the COVID is going on like it is, a lot more people are streaming videos with, like, for instance, a sample would be Netflix, Hulu, pay channels, like that, Netflix, Hulu, and Vudu, what's the other one, Prime. There's a whole bunch of pay channels. Well, a lot of these pay channels are streaming these series that have no end, and that seems to be a problem with a few people, is that the series that they give to these pay channels are incomplete. And if you're paying someone for entertainment, then yeah, getting incomplete series without any kind of notification on it at all is a problem. So how do we stop this? I don't know how to stop this, but I'm going to start, and I'm definitely going to have an answer for you. And I will let you know exactly what to do step by step on how to eliminate these pay channels who have incomplete series. I spoke to her, and I think the way she does that if you're paying a channel for entertainment and all they can supply to you is a incomplete series, then they should at least tell you something. There ought to be an icon, or there ought to be something that warns the customer that you're getting into a series that has been discontinued, that you're going to be in a story that's going to end and leave you hanging. That's a problem. Um, y'all remember those commercials that came out about you see half the dog groomed and the other half is not, and you see a guy paid for a roof and they put on half the roof and stopped, and the caption is nobody wants half of anything. Nobody wants an incomplete anything. I mean, that should sum it up right there. If I'm paying you for entertainment, you should supply me with complete series. And if it's not complete, there ought to be an icon. There ought to be something there warning the customer that you're fixing to get into a story that is incomplete and it will leave you hanging. And when you're a paying customer, that's an issue. So, I will get into this on how to stop this. Um, can I stop it, or what am I capable of doing? So, I will start this problem by first calling the channel that she's talking about, explaining the problem, and we'll go from there. So basically I'll know basically what step to go to next after I speak with the channel. I do believe that if you are paying for Netflix and Vudu or whatever you're paying for, they should give you a complete product. If they can't supply you with a complete product, you need to stop using them. I know that I have a bunch of friends on here who have a lot of followers, and I know that I can ask for support because I don't have enough followers right now to get feedback on what steps to take to make your provider stop providing you with partials. If they're going to give you a series, it should be complete or a running series. And if you have a running series that is not going to be completed, it should be demanded by your pay channel for that company to come up with a final video to close out the series. You have to have a finished product. You can't sell a half-used product. You can't put a series out there that ends and just leaves people hanging like it does. I mean, if they've been doing it, they've been getting away with murder. If I'm a company and I am selling channels and selling the rights to view these channels, by me giving you a channel and a story that's incomplete, I'm not fulfilling my entertainment obligations with you. And this should be addressed. And these companies need to know that customers are not going to tolerate this anymore. It's going to be a big issue. So if you see my video and you feel the same way, please let me know what you have done or what you think needs to be done to a company that continues to give you incomplete series. To be told half a story and be left in half the story and you just have to go to another story? No, this has got to be stopped. I can see this is an issue. And with your support and with the support of my friends, we should be able to stop them from doing this. If they're giving you a running series, that's a running series, and they should be given the demand on a running series that if the series should stop for any purpose or be cut off, that an ending one of the one of the seasons, it should have one clip that ends the whole story, so that the person who watches the story has an ending. That's a complete thing. Why would you want to watch a story and they get you all built up and you're knowing this and you're knowing that, and all of a sudden it ends and you got to kind of just figure it out. So you're paying for this. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to do anything to any channels that aren't paid channels. But to know that there are channels out there like the CW, and there are like Disney Plus. There are pay channels out there that will not pick up incomplete series. They will not show them. If they have a running series, pretty much they end. And if CW can do it and it's free, then why can't a paying company do it and not be free? Or at least, if they have all these series that they can't take off, label it. When I pick on a series, I should have a bunch of icons. And clicking on certain icon would tell me about this series. Is it a complete series? Does it come to an end? Do I watch it, and when it starts to come to the finish, I just come to a stopping point and pull out? Something. Tell your customers something. Don't make them pay for stuff that's incomplete without telling them. That's just not right. So if you have any ideas on this problem here to help me and let this girl know how to stop this problem, and basically let us all know, because I personally would like to know how to stop a company that says, alright, we want to be your entertainment provider and you're going to charge you $4.99, $6.99, whatever your charge is, because they're paying for your entertainment. You're paying for your entertainment, and all your entertainment comes in incomplete series. I would say that you need not to charge if you're just going to constantly give your clients unfinished stories, because you're not an entertainment. That's not entertainment. That's not good business. So my first step is to call these two channels and to find out what they think about the problem, if we can fix the problem, and what to do, what steps to take to get this done. I will have these answers for you the very next vlog. Again, I have a couple of friends who are also supportive of me, and they're also going to help me with the issues. So I'm not working this alone, even though I don't have a lot of exposure right now. But my people, just hang in there. I will promise you we'll get to the bottom of this, and we will definitely find out how to stop this problem. And love you guys. I appreciate your time. And if, like I said, if there's an issue that you need, legal issue, I don't care what it is, and you need help on how to complete it or how we take care of the problem, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate everything, like I said, and I'll be back on my next vlog, and hopefully I can cover all these issues. I will cover these issues. We will get this stopped. Thank you very much. Love y'all. Bye-bye.